Hi everyone, we're going to do some more work in the garden today. I have to break these boxes to finish doing the composting area. I want to make a little pathway. I'm not sure if I was clear about that in the last video, but I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. But we're going to break this and put it over there. I need to go grab some more mulch. I also have to sow some more seeds on these green stalks because unfortunately, the beans that we sowed together didn't germinate. So I have more seeds here in my pocket. I've got mostly herbs because I don't think I have enough herbs to do all the cooking that I want this summer too. So we have some different kinds of basil, and none of my nasturtiums are doing very good. So we're going to try to sow another round. I also have to deal with this lemongrass that I bought. I want to separate them and put them in different containers to see if they can grow a little bit bigger. And I bought some veronica for the pollinators too, to see if I can attract more of them for this area back here in the garden. So it came in this little pot. I want to give it some more space to grow too. So lots of projects to work today, and once we start doing things, we might find some other things to do. I don't have a lot to harvest from the garden right now. We are in that time in between times where I harvested most of my cool season crops, and I'm still waiting for my warm season crops to produce. But I went to the farmers market and got some veggies from them, so we might do a little cooking after we finish this too. Let's start here with the green stalks. I just noticed that there are some pansy seedlings growing here. Oh, that's nice. I might also separate some of them, but I do want to grow some Thai basil because I don't have any growing yet. This one has a pretty flower, so I think it would look nice here and here. And I'm just going to direct sow it to make it easy, but let me show you guys the little pansy seedlings that I've just noticed. So you see them here? I have been leaving these guys here to go to seed and dry out, so they don't look the best in the planter, but some of the seeds fell and are popping up in the pocket, which is great. Just notice some more down here too, this little guy. Let me rotate and see if we have more. Oh, lots of them here, wonderful, so we can just separate them. Some more here, so that's good. Some more here. This side, oh, a lot here. Let's see, sorry, get it closer. So this side's gonna be good, I guess, even though it's not looking very full right now. We could just add some of the seedlings in other places. I do want to put some basil here and some basil here on this planter as well. Oh, look, a little bee visiting the pansies. And the last garden tool, I also forgot to show the strawberries, but they're looking pretty good, the ones that I started from seed and have these beautiful double pink flowers. I hope the bee goes there and pollinate it for us. But I'm gonna let her be while she's working in here. And on this one here, I have added some more rosemary, and I have cut some of the pansies that are already all brown, so it has some more empty pockets that we can fill up too. I really like to have more herbs. They're growing very slow this year, and soon enough, hopefully, we have cucumbers and tomatoes and zucchini, lots of stuff that we can make some fun things with them. So I want to start the herbs now. It's been a couple weeks since I poked those bean seeds in here, and nothing really came up. So I really don't think they're gonna come anymore. Maybe the seeds were too old. I forgot to take one of the seed houses here. Yep, nothing there also. So I just got this brand new pack of Thai basil, and I'm going to sprinkle some seeds there too. Those are brand new, and it's hot enough outside that I think they will hopefully germinate very fast. So I just put a few in my hand. So I'll try to put 3 or 4 on each, maybe a little more if I have extra in my hand. But I'll do this before I get my hands super dirty to handle a brand new seed pack. I'll put a bunch in all together here. I could wait a bit to transplant those pansies too. Put some down here. I guess I'll just let them be. I'll press the soil a little bit. And then once they germinate, if they germinate, then I will transplant the little seedlings that I showed you guys, so the pansies, into the other pockets. So I make sure that we have things growing here. But now I'm going to cover them up again, just to even help them even more with germination. Just gonna add the seed houses And the soil is pretty moist. We just had rain and it's supposed to rain again. And these seed houses, they're not fully closed. That's a space in here, and so rain drips through still. So we'll keep the soil surface still moist. I'm also going to add, let's see if I have enough, I better check. But I'm also going to add this little shelter to the little pansy seedlings that have popped up so they grow a little faster. And even though it's hot, it gets ventilation, so it just helps to stay very humid down there because it has those spaces, so it still vents, it still gets air. I have to go pick up some more inside, but I'll do that later so you can keep going with this video. I have added a few other things here too. I'm not sure if I showed you guys. I'd put a little cucumber in here that I had a leftover seedling. We'll see. Hopefully in a few more weeks these planters are going to be looking nice again. I'm a little sad that the beans didn't germinate, but it's okay. Sometimes that happens. I sowed some of those seeds on the raised beds over there too, and they also did not germinate there. So it was probably my seed pack. And now, let me see, I did all the Thai basil on this. I'm gonna just add some sweet basil to make some pesto. I haven't made a lot of pesto yet, and I need to have some green basil to make pesto, not just the purple ones, because the color looks a little weird. I love the purple ones to eat fresh and to garnish, but to make pesto, I prefer the regular green one. So we're just going to throw some seeds here to have a marjoram there, rosemary, maybe together with this onion. It's a lot of small seedlings, but the other ones on this side, look at the strawberries, huge. Lots of foliage, no blooms yet. Maybe I'll just put the basil with some of this peppers and see if I have space for them here too. I put too many seeds in my hand, I don't want to put it back into the seed pack. So let's put some in this other side too. I moved this GreenStalk here, and I'll tell you guys why in a minute. But I see some empty pockets still, so I'm gonna put some basil seeds there too. The onions here are doing good. The onions in my, let me see if I can find a good one. Some of them looked a little big. This one is forming a bulb. How cool is that? But the ones in my raised beds are not. I did transplant them a little earlier here, so maybe that's the reason why. Finally, the herbs are starting to get good. I don't need any sage or lemon balm right now, but once I harvest some other veggies, I will harvest those too in a few days, hopefully. Now, because my nasturtiums are not doing good this year, I don't know why, I'm going to poke some nasturtium seeds in here too. I think I'm going to put in the front of this bed. I'm also considering taking this cover off. Nothing is really coming and trying to nibble anything anymore. And the plants in here are getting kind of big. So I'm thinking if I should just take the cover off and just leave the support, the trellis, and see how they would do. Oops, there's maybe too many seeds. So I'm just going to poke the nasturtium seeds in the front and hopefully that they germinate and grow. The other ones that germinated in my raised beds just stayed stunted. It didn't grow very much, and I'm not really sure why. So it would be nice if they would grow here. I'll put this one here. This one is called Cherry Rose Nasturtium. And the two basils that I sowed was this one that came with the GreenStalk pack, and this other one over here too. I'm going to put these boxes in this wheelbarrow so it's easy for me to just take them to the back. There's lots of little pieces in here like this, and I plan to put this in the compost too. This is all compostable. And those bigger ones, I'm going to remove the tape and break it so I can line the pathway area with them first before I add the mulch, and that way I won't have things growing through the mulch, and it'll be easy for me to just access that area every time I need it. On the last video that you guys saw, I filmed it yesterday, but this one's gonna go over a few days after. But that was the composting video. I was a bit rushed, not sure if you could tell, but I didn't explain very well. I wanted to have that area ready for me, so when I'm pruning and trimming the garden, because the garden is finally starting to grow, I have a place to go access easily. now I don't really have a spot to put my leaves and stuff like that. I've been throwing in the ground, but I wanted to try to keep it a little more organized. I was planning to also weed whack that other green stuff that I showed you guys in the video today, but it's kind of wet because we just got rain and it's going to rain again, so I might have to wait a little bit for that. But at least I can get my mulch path ready and out of the way, so I don't have an excuse to not start putting all of my yard waste there. I also want to put grass clippings to mulch my raised beds. I did put that in the compost yesterday, but I got another bag with a little bit that I want to start mulching the raised beds too. One of you guys commented saying they've been using green grass clippings for a while in your beds and everything is fine and it works out well, so I'm going to do it too. We're losing a lot of volume in our raised beds too because I added so much organic matter there, and I also don't want to have to water so much, so if I put the mulch, that will help protect the soil a little bit. Oops, huge spider. All right, let me put these little things on the wheelbarrow first. And so much tape. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this up here and show you guys what I have once I'm done. I broke half of it and got the wheelbarrow full, sorry. I still have some in there. We're gonna start covering all of this area here. What I meant by doing a pathway for myself is that this gets overgrown very fast and sometimes I just don't wanna go there. So I want this area to be easily accessible so we have tons of mulch. I'm going to come over and lay this whole place here with cardboard, starting from the road here because I'm so tired of weed walking all the time and things are growing really fast now in the summer. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get this whole area lined up. The composting pile we made yesterday is right there. I will probably need more cardboard, but I have plenty in the garage. I just have to break them. And I'll throw the little pieces on the back there. Carrying mulch is not my favorite thing to do. Don't really like it. It's pretty heavy, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this whole thing today, but I want to start it and do a little bit at a time every time that I come out in the morning to work in the garden. That'll be my morning workout to carry this mulch. I need to use the wheelbarrow for the mulch, so I'm just gonna get these guys dumped over there on the composting area. Hopefully it doesn't fly away. But we're gonna have some rain too, so it will help holding it down. All right, now let's go grab some mulch. My husband's mowing in the background, so I hope you guys don't mind the noise. I keep saying mulch, but I mean to say wood chips that we have been using as mulch. And this pile is new, was dropped off just a few weeks ago, and I'm grabbing from this one because it is still pretty dry and I haven't seen any jumping worms on this one yet. On my last video I mentioned that I didn't want to grab from my older pile that's on the other side because we found some jumping worms in there. That one has been sitting there for about a year and is a little bit aged, so for mulching a path I would rather get from this one anyway because it's newer and it's going to last a little longer for us. And I'm only going to do 2 loads for today. That should be enough to cover this amount of cardboard that I have here. Okay, so that's the beginning. I will finish this up this week. So I will keep doing this in the mornings and I will show you guys how it looks when I finish. I have the grass clippings that I want to put in the garden over there, but my husband is mowing the grass right now again. Our lawn is so big we have to mow in sections. So I'm going to use the clippings that are in the bag. Let me show you guys. This one over here, he just Mo's bags for me, and and then he put it in here a few days ago actually, because this is a little way down already, and I'm going to use that over those cardboards there just to hold them down a bit in case we get some wind before the rain. Just better to be safe than sorry. And I'll use the fresh ones that he's mowing to add to my raised beds later. One more thing I want to show you guys is that some of the things that I have sown here are germinating. So we have some seedlings. I'm not sure if the groundhog will eat it or not, but our landlord offered to give us a bit more fencing to maybe enclose this area too, and I think I'm gonna accept that because we could move that green fence over here and then just add another piece to connect between here to there. So this little flower area would be protected too. And lots of the flowers here are blooming on this side. It's so pretty. Starting to bloom the snapdragons and the straw flower. Look at this area here. Isn't it nice? I'd like to take this off. I think it would be nicer. Some of them are growing through it, so I have to be a bit careful. Oops, see? But if I do that, I'll make sure to bring you guys along too and show what I'm planning to do. I saved all my own seeds from these straw flowers. Isn't that cool? This is from last year's garden. I collected seeds from the patch we had and then sowed them in here. And they came in all these nice different colors. It's very nice. I think I want to do the same thing, so I might not harvest them to dry, just let them go to seed so we have a lot more to play with next year. I still have cardboard here, but it's pretty hot right now. I'm sweating. So I might just do that a little bit later in the afternoon, but this tape over here is the one that I really dislike. It's very hard to take out. And these things here, I need to put in the compost too. Here's my bag with all the tape. I'll keep filling this up here. And I also have to deal with my native flowers that are still here. I tried to plant some, they didn't make it, but I still have some. So it'd be nice if I could do it today, but I still have to weed those 50-foot beds in the front in order to maybe try to plant some of these there. I'm a little concerned because I know the groundhogs are eating them, but maybe they will leave this alone. I guess we gotta try because they're getting too big for these milk jugs anyway. I keep delaying it because I feel bad, but eventually it's gonna have to get done. Oh, also, I moved this GreenStalk here to the patio area because that green one over here was tilting and I was afraid it was going to fall. So what I did, I used the paver that I had for that gray one and put it in here. And I think 2 GreenStalks inside the enclosed area is fine. The groundhogs are not eating as many things as they were in early spring, so maybe they have more things to nibble in the front yard and are not coming here as much, and mostly the things that are growing here are herbs anyway, so they were not bothering them. So I like the look of this here. Eventually I want to move this rain barrel out of the way and put the lilac one here. I think the lilac and the stone together by this light green raised bed will look nice. And then on this side we'll have the green and this maple colored one. I'm sweating over here and I'm also hungry, so let's go inside for a little bit. I'm going to make myself a little breakfast and maybe we'll come back out together a little later today again. Okay, I haven't had lunch yet, breakfast yet. So we're gonna make a little brunch. I have some old bread here that I want to use. And I want to use some of those microgreens that I showed you guys in a previous video. It's time to cut them up. They could have been harvested even earlier, but I wanted to save them to show it to you guys. So we're gonna use that in our brunch today. And I'm going to make myself a little treat, strawberry matcha latte, because I made some strawberry jam earlier this morning as soon as I woke up. while I was having coffee, because I have coffee first. And the strawberries I got at farmer's market, and they were really ripe, very dark, but I wanted to get them because I really like to make jam when they're very ripe because the color gets really nice. And I just boiled this down with a little bit of honey and maple syrup. I don't like to add too much sugar, they're pretty sweet already because they're good strawberries. And I also added some chia seeds for extra fiber and omega-3s and all that, the health benefits that they give. So I'm gonna use a little bit of that as a treat to make a matcha latte. My brother gave me some from Japan that I only use for special occasions, but today is a special occasion because I made this nice strawberry jam. And last week we went to a farmer's market, actually, my husband and I, and we had a strawberry matcha in there with oat milk, and it was so good. I keep thinking about it, so I'm going to try to make one for myself now at home. I don't have a recipe for this, I'm just gonna wing it, because we can then have this with our nice tomato toast that I'm going to make. I'm gonna put this to boil while I'm getting everything else ready. And the bread that I have here is old, so we're going to revive it. I'll show you guys what I do too, to revive old bread if I wanna have it for toast. And we're using a few things that are not from the garden, but let's say if I had a bigger garden, I could have had strawberries from the garden too, just didn't have enough this year. And some tomatoes I was craving, and heirloom tomatoes. So I got a few at the farmer's market. I already ate the other two. I got a Shorty purple and another pink one that I don't know which variety it was, but it was delicious. But I still have this yellow one. So we're gonna use that for our toast. I'm gonna make kind of like a tomato sandwich, but in a toast form. This bread is pretty hard. But if you water, run it over water a little bit, not too much, it's gonna get too soggy, and then put it in the toaster. You can sometimes revive it, especially if you're going to cut it to toast it again after. I'm gonna use some maple syrup for a latte. I'm gonna make that first because I'm thirsty. We're gonna have it iced because it's hot. I'm gonna start putting the strawberries, the strawberry jam underneath this. I'll do 2 spoons. I haven't even tasted this jam after I finished, but I'm sure it's good. It's great. I'll taste it right now. Oh wow, it's great. It's sweeter than I thought. So I might not even need to do the maple syrup. We're gonna make the matcha separately. We're gonna put the ice here and the milk after. And for the matcha, I like to use the little milk frother for this. I don't have a matcha whisk, but I use this. This is very nice. From Japan. We have to drink it fast too, even though it's hard to use nice things that you get as gifts, because it will start oxidizing and losing its beautiful green color. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a little far, but it's nice and green compared to another matches I have here that's already a little brown. Once I pour in here, you'll be able to see the color. Just a little bit of the hot water, and I'm just gonna buzz this. And this is a small cup, so I'm gonna do it 2 portions. Oops. Oh my goodness. Of course this happens when I'm filming. Let's do a little faster. There we go. I'm gonna put a little bit less water in that. I could froth the oat milk too. It's cold, so it's not gonna get too frothy, but then we're gonna finish that with that. More milk on the other one. I'm gonna just use this to mix it around. All right, I'll be right back and we'll finish this toast. Then you got your matcha. Okay, let me taste this. Oh, so good. I wanna mix a little bit more. I like to taste the strawberry and everything. Oh, delicious, very nice and cold. And it'll give me a bit extra energy to go back to the garden after we eat. So I'm gonna salt this tomato while the bread is toasting, because it tastes so much better if you salt your tomato before you add to your tomato sandwich or salad or toast. I like to just put in a little tray. You can put in a plate too, but I have those little trays, so I like to use it. I'm gonna cut the whole thing, because even if I have extra, I'm just gonna eat it by itself. I'm pretty hungry. Just salt them and let them sit there for a little bit. I'm gonna put this in here so you can see. I'm just putting a little bit of kosher salt. You can use Maldon salt or sea salt. And we're gonna let it sit here for a bit to start enhancing the flavor or drawing out the flavors. Not sure what's the right way to say that. I'm gonna put this in my compost. A little bit more matcha. Oh, look at that. Better. Still a little firm, but now I'm going to cut it into slices. This bread's not too big, so I'm gonna make just a few different toasts to fit all these tomatoes that I cut. Back into the toaster oven it goes. And while that toasts, we're going to cut our microgreens. I'm not even gonna wash them because they're pretty clean. It's been growing inside. Hope you guys can see. I'm gonna turn like this. You can just eat straight from here. This is how they look. And the cilantro is starting to pop up. How cool is that? I'm going to try to cut them close to the ground, but I like to have some stems so it looks nice when we use to garnish the food. And you can use this for eggs, for toast. I put it on my eggs too in the morning. A tray like this will last you a few days if you try to put in a few dishes for a couple people. I'm just going to cut just enough for a toast today, and I will use the rest for some eggs tomorrow too. And one of you guys asked me about these little stems over here on the soil, on the comments, if I just throw the seeds right on top of these little stems and roots, or if I change the soil. In the past, I have changed the soil, but this time for an experiment, because I use good soil here too, not just coco coir or a medium that didn't have any nutrients, I'm going to try to just throw seeds right over it and see what happens. So this was a purple broccoli, the sprouting broccoli I tried to grow last year. And they have some purple on them, the stems and back of the leaves, which is very nice. And here's how much we have for our toasts today. I'll put the rest of this back into the grow rack. Oh, that looks beautiful. Look at this. So nice. Look at that. Nice little toasts. I hope these tomatoes fit here. I'm gonna get a nice plate to put them on. I'm going to build them in here and then move in here so it's all nice and clean. So let's start it with some meal. Oops, there's definitely some coming out. Great. Maybe slightly a little mess. I'm just gonna spread this really fast. Not enough fat here for the meal, but I'm going to finish up with some olive oil, which is going to be okay. Okay, I'll save the two little ones for something else. Microgreens first and then the olive oil so we can season the microgreens as well. And the plate. Oh, that's so nice. Just adding a little bit of microgreens like that just elevates this so quickly. It's a nice thing to serve for brunch, or we're just having it on a regular Sunday. But if you are going to have people over or something, this would be a great option. So finish with olive oil always, especially if you put some greens. They're undressed. You always want everything in your food to be dressed and seasoned. I had some salt in the tomatoes, so I'm going to skip the salt, but then I'm going to put some black pepper. And we're going to move our toasts to this plate. And here we have a little lunch, brunch, some tomato toast with our matcha. Taking you guys outside again to show them because the light in my kitchen is just so bad. But look how pretty those little toasts look. So this is ciabatta bread, a little meal, some tomatoes, microgreens, olive oil, salt and pepper. I'm going to go inside again to enjoy this with my husband. Then we're going to come outside to get some more work done in the garden. Oh look, there's a monarch. Oh, she's so erratic flying. She's in the hydrangea in the butterfly bush. Now we're going to use these grass clippings that my husband just mowed to mulch some of our beds in the vegetable garden. The bed that tends to dry out the most here, the fastest, is this smaller one. Has more soil exposed since we're growing some onions. I don't want to put too much because I don't know if this will be bad for the bulbing of the onion, but I do want to put some so it doesn't dry out as fast as it's been right now. So I'm going to start with a little bit and see how much we're going to have left over. I'll do a thin layer, maybe 1 to 2, inch layer. These onions are not doing very great anyway. I keep resisting pulling them. They're so tiny. But I'll leave them a little bit longer to see what happens. Maybe we'll get some baby onions to make pearl onion pickle or something like that. But I feel bad just completely terminating them. I saw a few other things here. I put a squash seed there. That's a winter squash that might get really big. So if they don't make it, I'll let it sprout in here, or I could always try to let it go down the bed. These are sweet potatoes. Those are purple sweet potatoes slips that I put here. A bit late too, but I had them, and this bed was not looking very great, so just decided to see what would happen. If they don't produce sweet potatoes, whatever they produce down there at least will be organic matter, and it could decompose over the winter and enrich the soil for us on that way too. Okay, that's good. There's a lot of it still, which is great. I want to do this other bed next, but if I have leftover, I might already terminate that buckwheat crop today, drop it, and add a mulch of grass clippings on top of that area too. I have a baby squash in here too that I want to show you guys after. It's feeling like it's gonna rain again, so let me just hurry up and mulch this real fast. And then if we have time, I will show you guys what's going on in this bed and some other baby veggies that we have here. Okay, it's not raining yet. Let's take a quick look on how everything's looking. I'll show you the grass here that I just did. And we're gonna take a look at everything else that's a little exciting here in the garden right now. And let's take a closer look to the raised bed now. I'll do a little overview first. So this is how it looks, all mulched. It's not as deep as I wish. There's still some of the bed showing over there, but it's okay. We'll start with this much and then we'll see what happens. Hopefully it will dry out in a couple more days, and then once we mow the grass again, I'll do the same thing with this bed and with that back area that I was showing you guys. And here's how the onion bed look. This one has a very thin layer of the grass clippings. It might become a squash and sweet potato bed depending on what happens to these onions. So I'll give them another month or so and see what happens. And now let's see what's growing in the garden. First, a little update on the beans here. Nothing. So the pole beans we planted together didn't germinate, so no beans. And on this vine over here, squash vine, we have a baby butternut squash. It just dropped this blossom. Blossom over there, and now we have this baby. My goodness, isn't it cool? I can't wait to see it and watch it grow. I hope no critters eat it, so let's leave it covered with the leaf over there. Nothing really much going on this section. The dahlia there is not budding yet. We have some snapdragons blooming. This cucumber here is looking great. That's lots of flowers on it, and they're all open. How cool. So hopefully I have some cucumbers soon. But there's something interesting that's happening, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about. You see how it's clustering and making so many flowers in this little area? I don't know if that's healthy, because in some other flowers like dahlias or even asters, if they're doing something like this, it means that they have a virus. So I don't know if this is just a very prolific variety. This is called a Supremo cucumber from Johnny Seeds, or if something's going on. If you know, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll really appreciate it. But other than that, the plant looks pretty healthy. It's growing nice and well, and we'll see what happens. Here we have a dahlia that is about to bloom. None of this was happening in the garden tour, so this one's going to be a beautiful one. I can't wait to show you guys how she's going to look when she's open. The carrots in here is still not doing great. Just tiny little seedlings. A little bit sad of the failure, but it's okay. It is what it is. The dahlias that we did plant together in the last vlog are popping up. So this is a dahlia, that's a dahlia over there, that's a dahlia over there. So that's cool. They'll probably just take this space that's empty now. And this is a honey nut squash that also has a flower that I hope got pollinated, a female flower over here that is sprawling to that side and to this side of the bed, which is good. And this part over here, this tip is coming off. I'm going to let it go off the bed and just go around to have more space to grow too. And I had someone asking me on one of the previous videos if I was growing any of the long beans that I like, and I am. The ones climbing here, these guys, are the yard long beans or the Asian long beans. And I'm excited to see how they will do. So far so good, but you know, flowers is just climbing. The scarlet runner bean is all the way up there on this side. So those two, the side over here, those beans there are the scarlet runner beans. And on this tomato plant, we already have tomatoes. They're green, and it's gonna take a little time for them to mature, but that's cool. The sky is getting darker, so the rain's coming. Let's see how much more we can see. Lots of flowers on the top, which is great. And here in the bottom, we have some peppers. I thought this was a jalapeno, but I didn't label because I planted this all in a rush. I wanted to get this done after I built the beds. But this is a Corbassi pepper. I think it's a Turkish pepper. I said it was Italian before in my last year's garden tour, but I think someone corrected me saying that's Turkish, and it's really good. I really like it. It's gonna turn different colors when it starts maturing, and it's a sweet pepper, so I used a lot of it for cooking. So when I harvest them, I'm going to show you guys how I use it too. Here we do have some jalapenos. That's one already forming over there, baby one. Some more here on this plant. That plant there, I don't know what it is yet because there's only flowers. I can't see what kind of fruits forming. But check this out. Back here, we have a eggplant. Oops, lots of leaves in front of it. Look how pretty. And another one, this other plant. So I think that in a few more days, we'll be able to harvest those two. I like to harvest mine a bit on the smaller side. And this plant is loaded with squash. Look at this. I'm so excited. This one got pollinated and dropped the blossom and is swelling up. So in a few more days, we might be able to harvest these too. This guy here has a blossom attached and hopefully got pollinated. There's a male flower open right in front of it. So hopefully the bees came and did its job pollinating over here. And there's a ton of little female flowers on the vine too. So I'm super excited to hopefully have some squash harvest very soon. And in the back there, we have some tomatoes forming. Oh, the rain's coming. Probably, I wonder if you guys can hear it. So we're gonna wrap up the tour right here, this little update, and we're going to run inside again. I didn't get a chance to finish doing everything that I said I was going to do in the beginning of this video with separating the lemongrass, potting the veronica, doing something about my native flowers, but that's okay. We'll carry over doing that on the next one. And please let me know what you think of this new garden to table format vlogs. This is what I wanted to do since the beginning of this channel. That's why the channel is called Mars Garden Kitchen. This season, hopefully, I'll be able to show you guys a little bit more of what I cook, what things that I grab from the garden or from the farmer's market when I don't have harvests coming from the garden yet, but mostly will be all seasonal cooking. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to watch another video in this format, I will link my last vlog right over here so you can watch that next. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time.